Elite Landscapes, Life Stories. It's Monday, and we're here at our forest property to tackle round one of these leaves. That's right, you see them all on the trees still. This is just round one. I'll throw down some tips to help you speed up the process. And we'll also throw a tip right here about some landscape installations in your landscaping beds, because this is a black walnut tree that dropped all this trash here. Black walnut trees are toxic to the soil, and they are also toxic to many plants. If you don't do research into the trees around your landscape installs, you could be just causing death without even knowing it. Now, you see all these leaves pushed aside? My personal preference, I circle cut this property, throwing all those leaves out. That's the first cut. I don't have to worry about stripes my first cut. It's tall grass, there's leaves everywhere. First cut's the first cut. I'm trying to make it clean. Now the second cut, you'll see, is all about making the place beautiful. Putting your style on it. Stripe that thing up nice and pretty, so the customer knows that you do a better job than anybody else. You care about their property. What you told them you were going to do, you're going to do it every visit. You're not going to skimp and scam. You're going to do a good job every time, no matter what. So, after you get those leaves chopped up and clean, go back and stripe it up. Make it pretty. Put your touch on it. Do your style. Didn't take extra time to do, because it was still just 2 cuts. I love the fall season. Love this weather. Here we go. Let's get into the day. Here I am at the entrance of the forest property. And we do have some projects coming up in the fall to take care of. This is one of them. Here at the entrance of it, they have the power lines that cut through. And this right here is basically a right of way for the power company. Trying to figure out ways to spruce it up. So we're gonna come in here, mow it all down. Probably have to get rid of some of this crazy stuff. Like, yeah, we got to get rid of that kind of stuff, and probably have to get a skid steer and just hardly rake it all back or just scrape it all back. But the idea is to have this all cleaned up from down there to the wood line, coming along this way, and we're going to fill it all with wildflowers, just like you see on the side of the interstate, and it's filled with wildflowers. That way, there's not really maintenance to it throughout the year. It's pretty throughout the different season blooms, because we'll put some different varieties in there. And the reason we're going to do that is that when the big trucks do come through here, that it's not going to come crush a nice expensive landscape or anything like that. It's really just going to roll over top of some flowers, wildflowers that will recover and come back. So that's a fall project, maybe a wintertime project by the time we get to it, but it's definitely on the list to do. Come over here and I'll show you this other section that we need to do at the same time, pretty much, because the right of way goes right here too. And you'll see this one grass here. I don't really like the style of these grasses here. I'm not a big fan because they kind of, you see, they just kind of fall apart throughout the year. Towards the end of the season, they just look bad. So we'll have a different type, one that has the big oak blooms on it. And what we'll do is we'll put, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably 6 of them. Missed a deer over there. 6 of those grasses to block the view of this when you're coming into the property. And once again, every once in a while, these big power line trucks come through and that kind of stops you from putting any kind of Leyland cypress evergreens right here, because the trucks are going to have to get through here. So if you have grasses, the year or the time that the trucks come through and smash over top of them, we can just trim these back and they come right back. So the trucks won't destroy what we're going to put there. Every once in a while we have to trim them back and let them grow. So it's 2 fall projects / wintertime projects that we're going to get into here on this property. And we'll go up here to the house and I'll show you the other one we got going on real quick. Now, to do a thorough job, I went ahead and sent the blowers up ahead of my mowing. Got all this stuff cleaned up, so when I came to and mowed, the road was already clean. And when we did our final blow, we weren't blowing 10,000 leaves on top of our freshly mowed grass. Hope that makes sense. All right, so another project in this property is removing these large overgrown shrubs, because the ones in the front, golden mops, those are not golden mops. The golden cypress are looking good, but these way overgrown. And you can see we have multiple shrubs. All grown together into one massive shrub. So it's not gonna be easy. We got a lot of lines and such coming through here, and it goes on down this way too. Some more of these overcrowded, they need to be taken care of. Put some fresh edges down, fix this stuff here. We're gonna do away with that walkway and such, but yeah. Eventually, we'll extend that patio and have a fire pit out there so they can sit down, relax, enjoy their backyard more. A lot of work to do this fall. Kind of daunting sometimes to think about how much there is to do, because where I'm at, the grass cutting doesn't really stop until Thanksgiving. So it's not easy to get everything done, but for today, we got the leaves cleaned up today. That's a start. See what we can do with this Scag. So the morning vibes for Monday was slow, but now it's time to go. That little warm up going. Got my blood pumping. Time to tackle this phase 1. Opening up this corner to give this entrance a much, much more beautiful appeal when you're driving in. For that matter, when you're driving by the place, by the time we're done with this project, your eyes are gonna snap to the right, snap to the left. You'll be like, oh my goodness, look at those beautiful flowers. Yeah, we'll hook it up right. The Scag Turf Tiger 2 here is doing phase 1. And I've been kind of waiting to do this because earlier in the season, that grass was really plush, really crazy. I really didn't want to walk in there and see what was there to maneuver around. Today, I had the time. The place was already shined up. The walking trails were good to go. So I put the time allotted into this. Getting this all beat down. Open it up. Love this machine. Turf Tiger 2 with the Vanguard. It's got the highest horsepower, largest transmissions. The machine really does whatever you want it to do. Now, like any machine, you'll have issues. Because, yeah, even though I walked this, I didn't see everything that was involved. We'll get to that here shortly. What happened to my mower? It's Monday. You know, ain't everything gonna go right. That's for sure. At least everything didn't go wrong. Because that looks good. That machine's amazing. And when I walked the property earlier, or this area, I saw this stump, so I knew I didn't want to run over that. Very important to walk these properties. There was a raised slate edge, and slate against a spindle going fast, you'll definitely not be mowing grass anymore that day. Here's a real big boulder. That would have been an ugly, ugly thing to run into. So yeah, these little dudes are the only thing standing. I'll kick them over the best I can. Yeah, I'll send my weed eating arsenal after them. Get them knocked out. The boys are coming down the road now, weed eating. Heading up this way. Look at all the extra land area that is now nice and clean, and it's not an eyesore anymore. And like I said, by the time Elite Landscapes does their stuff, it'll be screaming style, and the homeowner is gonna love it. Looking forward to that. So the boys gotta come up here and weed eat. They're working their way down the drive now. They already got the house done, so I'm gonna go back to the house, blow it off, and then I'll come back through here behind them and do the final blow on the driveway. Hey, you gotta have procedures. Everybody's got to know what they're doing for everything to keep rolling at a timely fashion. Like right here, I can see a technique that's much faster than what's happening here. So I go stop him and tell him real quick.
Yeah, just walk and walk. It ain't got to be real short. Just walk and walk. Walk down and walk back. It's not, you don't have to go like this. It's wasting a lot of energy. Just walk straight and walk back like you do the banks downtown. Hey, start on this side.
There we go. Now, just doing it so long, unless I'm taking a 6 to 15 foot swath with a weed eater, I'm just gonna walk back and forth, hit it real nice and fast and hard, just like I was flattening down the side of a building or curb line, whatever. Much more efficient, doesn't waste your energy. You're not swinging your arms back and forth 150 times within 20 feet. You just put the weed eater strong, hold it hard, and walk forward or backwards, whatever your preference is. They're gonna roll through here and tighten us up, get around the trees, the rocks that I hadn't gotten yet. So our leaf cleanup here, I think it turned out really good, because if you look at the neighbor's property here, that's what it did look like. Full of leaves. Yeah. So I hope 1, 2, 3 of those tips that we threw out there will benefit you in the future. Especially pay attention to that walnut tree tip, because that could be a really costly mistake. All right, guys, while I was mowing just now, I noticed weird stuff going on because the middle blade was not cutting grass. So pay attention when you're mowing out here to what your mower is actually doing, because I sharpened the blades last night and the middle blade has worked its way loose a little bit, so we're gonna go to the trailer and tighten it. So it's always important, if you did take your toolbox out or anything else out of your truck, you put it back so it's available for you. Grandpa's Craftsman, GAC. So yeah, I gotta tighten this middle bolt on the Turf Tiger. .15/16. Worked its way loose, so we'll see what's going on. Let's hope it's just that and not the spindle. Haha. Well, that would be bad. We'll find out here in a second. You heard that thing squeak. Yeah. So, those spindles here on the Turf Tiger 2, they must be greased on a regular basis. That's my one complaint, is that this mower does not have the sealed bearings on the spindles. Well, tightened it. Not loose anymore, so it goes on. Going back to that tall, nasty section that I mowed over this morning at our forest property. Yeah. I didn't see everything when I did my walkthrough, and those 4-foot long steel metal garden stakes that you see and use sometimes. Yeah, there was one in that pile of tall stuff. Sure enough, I hit it, shot the whole stake about 20 feet away from me. And the thing was, it was in a circle shape. So it was basically a big, large circle of metal that I hit, and the velocity of that blade through it, good 20 feet. And because my blades were spinning so quickly when they hit that chunk of metal, I can almost guarantee you that's what jarred that bolt a little bit loose. That, and the fact that the yard that I had just cut after that had been a month since I had cut it, and it was thick. So if you put the two and two together, that's what I'm thinking is that initial. Well, with that happening, I'm just gonna mow this grass. I ain't got time to set y'all up. The initial jarring of that hitting the metal was what bumped it loose a little bit, and then pushing through this yard 3 times, it just worked its way loose. So just watch what's going on out there, guys. It's up to you to be safe and protect everybody else around you that's working. I'm just fortunate that I can work on this stuff myself, save myself thousands and thousands of dollars each year, because my life story started off as an auto diesel mechanic apprentice in high school. You don't know where your life story is taking you, but it's teaching you lessons you're gonna need, so you can sit back one day and relax, like my pops is right here catching fish. Y'all be good. I'll be back tomorrow with another life story. with Elite Landscapes. Peace.